And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a two-player abstract game called Haru Ichiban by Bruno Cathala. Now, I played this game a couple years ago in a wooden format. Every piece was wooden. It was really beautiful, actually. But this is more of the mass market type game. It has some great artwork from Stefano Calavini. But this is a 20-minute game between two players where you're trying to get patterns in a row on the board, but planning ahead by moving lily pads around. It uses a frog lily pad, and your gardener's, I don't know, pushing lily pads around or whatever. Here's how it plays. There's a little scoreboard at the top where players are going to keep track of the points that they get. Each player needs to get 5 points to win the game. And you're going to get points by trying to form a formation of flowers on this group of lily pads. A grouping of 4 in a square is 1 point. A line of 4 in a row is 2 points. Diagonal is 3 points. And 5 diagonal is 5 points, which means you automatically win the game. Now, this is the way that it starts the game. But each player is going to have 8 lily pads, and they're going to draw 3 of those and put them in front of them. Now, these lily pads have numbers from 1 to 8 on them. And each player is going to look at those 3 lily pads at the numbers, and they're going to play one at the same time. So let's say, for example, the yellow player here plays a 7, and the pink player plays a 5. Now, 7's higher than 5, so the player who played the 7 becomes the senior gardener, and whoever plays the 5 becomes the junior gardener. Now, the way that this works is in a round, first you pick those. Then the junior gardener must put their flower on the dark lily pad, which is right here. The senior gardener can put theirs anywhere. They can even put it where there's a frog. They simply have to move that frog somewhere else. The junior gardener then can take a row of lily pads and move them, pushing other lily pads, but they get 1 space. And then the senior gardener will pick one on the board, maybe this one here, and flip it over. Now that one is the dark one for the next turn. Each player will draw another flower and continue. Now, if both players pick the same number, let's say they had both picked 7s, the first player to make a frog noise goes first, but that's more of a minor thing. Each player would place their flowers where the frogs were, and then whoever made the frog noise first decides where their frog goes. So the frogs really only come into play when players play the same number. If no player gets any points by the end of all 8 flowers, then you start the next round. If someone does get points, the round ends, and if it haven't got 5, then you'll flip over all the frogs will stay where they were, these stay where the flowers go back, and the lily pads stay where they were, except you'll flip them all over except the one dark lily pad, which is double-sided, will stay wherever it happens to be. It probably won't be in the same location, and the whole board will probably be a different setup for the next game. First person to get 5 points is the winner. Let me show you an example of one round. All right, so I'm the junior. So mine has to go here. Yours can go anywhere.
Okay. So I can do this.
Then I'm going to move this one here. And then you pick the new one that will be dark next turn. All right, then we draw back up. All right, ready? Okay, you're junior, so you go on the one you mentioned. I can go anywhere, so I'm going to go here. And then you can push lily pads or a group of lily pads in one direction.
Okay, so I can do this.
Then I pick which one will be dark next. Am I allowed to do one that's a frog? Yes. So, and I'll move the frog here.
And the frog can go anywhere?
Yeah, obviously I'm going to pick see, I picked a spot that you're not close to. All right. Okay, ready? Okay, so I'm the junior. I go there, and then you can go anywhere. And then you can flip one over to be the dark one. All right. And go. See, so go ahead and put yours out on the dark.
Yeah. That's right. This one.
And then I go here, which would give me 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would reset the round. Well, there you have it. This is a very cool little game. I was impressed with the forethought in the game. Now, the game is not perfect information. I think it would probably play out slightly differently if it was, because you only have access to three of the lily pads. So otherwise, there might be some moves, well, you should always play the 3 first or whatever. No, you just play whatever numbers you have available to you. Now, I am always thinking, okay, I need to keep a high number, because sometimes you want to be the elder gardener, and so I keep a low number because sometimes I want to be the junior gardener. So should I play one in the middle? It depends. And you also watch the numbers that the other person's played. There's a slight bit of memorization. Okay, they've already played their 2, 4, and 6. So they have these numbers left. Which one should I play here? I don't necessarily want to match the other person, because sometimes you're like, ooh, if I can figure out what number they are, we'll go into frogs, and going into frogs will really help me, or it will hurt me. So it's interesting, the junior gardener and the senior gardener, the different things they'll do. The junior has to go in the green. The senior can go wherever he wants. But the junior then can move a group. But then the senior can flip one over. So the senior's setting up the junior move for the next turn, while the junior's moving them around a little bit, trying to get those. Is it possible to get 5 in a row diagonally? It's difficult, because you will likely get 4 in a row diagonally first, which scores you. So to get 5, you have to set it up. But you can set it up. And I've done some plays in this game before where I felt very satisfied when I was finished, because I was able to kind of outwit my opponent. Now, I've been outwitted too. I'm not claiming to be super smart, but this is not like there's a little bit of luck in which lily pads you'll have. But other than that, knowing how to put them, where to place them, and just outguess the other person as moving them around. I think I've managed to get all the different things, the square, the line, the diagonal line, the 5 diagonal line. And when it's done, I feel like, wow, that was pretty thinky, and it was only 15, 20 minutes. So that's a very enjoyable aspect. And the whole thing looks good. It has kind of a zen feel to it. Hey, we're in the lily pad, pushing lily pads around, and just quietly outthinking your opponent. The 2-player abstract is a difficult thing to bring to the market at this point in time, but I think this is a good one. Haru Ichiban. Dice Tower Judgment approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.